Hi guys, my name is Grace and I'm doing another reading, but it will be different this time. I just felt guided to do a reading for the full moon, but this time we have here the divine masculines on this side and, and the divine feminines on this side. Um, it's where I asked the cards where the divine feminines at their mental space, emotional space, and also spiritual space, and how the full moon will affect them. um I feel awkward saying them because I know because I identify as a divine feminine as well, so I always feel like saying us because it's us in this journey. And I'm just so excited to show you what I found out in this reading, because I'm always excited during full moons and new moons, and especially during this full moon in Libra. It's a blue moon, and blue moon are special to me because the first blue moon January. I'm just gonna share this before I start. You can skip, but during the 31st of January, we had the super blood blue moon, and in Leo, and that just like when I did my intentions and I did my releasing and letting go, that just like completely it's started to change my life because um when I did my rituals, I just I think I wasn't even doing readings at that time. So um and also I'm a Leo sun, so I feel like it really is really special, that blue moon for me. So I'm encouraging you to do your own um rituals, intentions, and releasing during this blue moon as well. And it also, so it happened 31st of January, and few days after, 2nd of February, that's 2 2, and that's when I just woke up that day, started doing a reading, general guidance reading, and I don't know, I just felt so empowered after that blue moon happened, that I feel like I harnessed the energy. So after that, 2nd of February, few days after, I just started doing a reading and I uploaded it on YouTube, and that's how it all started with my journey. So um yeah. And then next, it doesn't happen often, especially this year it's two blue moons. The next blue moon would be in 2022, and I feel like the next year would be with two blue moons will be 2037. So really, I just feel guided to like really encourage you to do that. So all those introductions aside, um, I'm starting with the reading now. So with the divine masculine first on this side, with the divine masculine's mental space. I don't know, I find it hard to speak. We have here the Ten of Pentacles and the Five of Cups in reverse. So I like to see the Five of Cups in reverse. Can even hold the cards. So what I got is, with the Ten of Pentacles here, the divine masculines are mental space. They're thinking of stability for in the long term, and like with the stones here, I feel like this represents the stages. And they're thinking of this physical stability in the 3D, in the earthly realm, and they're thinking how to make it happen. And I feel like mentally they're maturing, they're becoming wise, and it's just a matter of placing this final pentacle that they need. And also with this, because this signifies also like connections with because how it was depicted in this deck, it's showing like this man here doing some ancestral rites. So I feel like the divine masculines are thinking of their connections to the past, and how they're affected, like the challenges they've been through, and how it helped them to mature. And I feel like divine masculines are being hopeful. They're dreaming of the life that they want, because it's the Ten of Pentacles. Like usually in the traditional tarot, this is depicted with the family, with the pet, with the financial stability. That's the Ten of Pentacles. So this card is how the blue moon in Libra, how it will affect the divine masculine in the mental space. And with this Five of Cups in reverse, I feel like they're trying to be more optimistic for the future that the divine masculine is planning. And they're looking at the past, because this is also looking at the past card, thinking and looking back viewing it now in a more positive way, because I feel like more in the past they were looking back at the past and being sad about it, but I feel like they're coming out of that sadness and trying to be more optimistic now when they're looking back at the past and looking at it in a different light. That's what I'm feeling. And like, instead of looking at it how they've been hurt in the past, they're now looking at it as how they've grown, like how they've matured, how they're more wise now. Like they're not gonna let it happen again. And also I feel like with the connections to the past and connections with the ancestors, I feel like the divine masculines are being guided by their ancestors. It could be a teacher, it could be it could be a spiritual guide, it could be people who passed, but yeah, that's just what I get from this card. So that's for divine masculines. So divine feminine's mental space, we have here the Six of Wands. And this is so interesting, because what came with that is the Six of Wands. Like, really? I mean, I'm sure I shuffled the deck and like out of all the cards, what came up with the Six of Wands? Six of Wands in the traditional tarot. I mean, when I saw this, I'm like, Cause when I was pulling out the cards, this came up in like this came up like this, like, but this came up um can't even express myself. This came up like I saw this card when I was pulling this out. I didn't saw this card, so and I was a bit like, why? Like, why is it 6 of Wands? Why is it in reverse? I'm getting a bit affected with that. But then now I realize when I saw this card, it's 6 of Wands too, but it's upright position. So now let's get on to the meanings of this. What I got from this card is with the 6 of Wands upright here from the Journey of the Hidden Realm deck, by the way. And the divine feminine's mental space, there she's standing. Divine feminines are standing in their power. And what I got from this intuitively is manifestation. And there's this inner light that the divine feminines have discovered in themselves, and they're now thinking how to use these gifts, how to develop them more. It could be psychic increased psychic awareness, and there are various forms with that. There's clairvoyance, clairsentience, and psychic abilities, like, and also it could also just simply be law of attraction, just generally like working with energies. And they're now thinking how to help themselves and help others, and they're just amazed by this like newfound power and like wisdom. And this didn't happen easily. We as divine feminines, we've encountered challenges to be able to grow into this and stand into our power. And I feel like most divine feminines, even if you feel like you're not there yet in this, I feel like you're getting there. You will get into this. And the most divine feminines, they face their shadow self, and it helped them transform into this. And with the 6 of Wands in reverse here, also 6 is also balance. So this is also about balancing, I feel, balancing this power. So with the, yeah, as I was saying, these gifts came with challenge as well. With this newfound power, there's more responsibilities now, because now that you're more awakened, I feel like there's more, like, you're more aware now if you are not doing the right things. I feel like, how do I express this? It's now your fault. It's more like it's now you if you're not on the right path, if you're like falling away from the right path, from your true soul's purpose, it's now your choice and it's now your doing, because you are now aware of what can be and what your powers are. So um there's more like responsibility on your side on staying balanced with this power. And yeah, I hope that makes sense. And but um I mean, don't pressure yourselves, but at the same time enjoy this. Don't be too serious about it. But I'm just saying there's just more responsibilities now. There will still be more challenges at what I can feel. You will still be challenged. That's why this six of wands in the traditional tarot is reversed, and it's just balancing each other. And also I feel like this six of wands in reverse is um also, I feel like with the Six of Wands in reverse, you might encounter some fear and doubts along the way, but I feel like that's normal, but you shouldn't let that affect you. And it's also, I feel like, with other people and how other people view you, they would view you um weird or crazy, especially if you're grown more spiritually. Um so yeah, if you're not vibrating the same energies, especially. But also, what I got from this is that keeping your feet on the ground and staying humble with this new gained power and like you've transformed into this. And also the spirits um are reminding you, the divine reminding you to be courageous anyway. Don't let other people affect you. Um Also, I feel like with this Six of Wands in reverse, the divine feminines are now recognizing that they doesn't need realizing that they not, doesn't need the recognition from outside world, that she's now stable, she's now found she's feeling victorious within herself. She's now found that contentment and happiness without outside validation. She's now got out of that um society's expectations. So she's now or getting out of that, in the process of getting out of that. And what I also got from this is divine feminines are now, if you're in this, you're now like a force to be reckoned with, because if you don't need validation from the outside, your power comes from within. And you've now healed, or you're now healing that need to do something to, you've now healed or healing that need to feel that feeling, that need to be accepted and loved. Because I feel like with most divine feminines, including myself, and maybe even divine masculines as well, there's this core issue about getting that recognition, um, doing something, that belief, that idea that we need to do something to be able to be accepted and be loved. And that may also have resulted from our upbringing. um it's like, I feel like it's more conditional love. And maybe the parents, it's like from the parents as well, when we have felt that if we have not acted in the way that our parents want us to be, that we were not be loved. um and yeah, most of us, we are brought up like that, but I feel like we're getting out of that belief now. And but with the parents, and anyway, um they're not aware of that it's conditional love. So yeah, I think I've that's all I want to say about this card. I hope it made sense. So now with the Divine Masculine's emotional space, we have here the Hermit card and the High Priestess. And also, what I've noticed with this card is it's 11, and with the pillars here, so I'm still thinking that because it's 9 for the Hermit and it's 2 for the High Priestess. So I'm still thinking that emotionally, Divine Feminines and this twin flame connection are still within Divine Masculine's heart and emotion. They're still within their emotional space. So you're still not forgotten, Divine Feminines. Even though Divine Masculines are dealing with hurt and pain, because that's what I'm getting from this card, because it's a bit of a dark card. So what I got from this is with the Hermit, the Divine Masculines are needing to take a break. So if they're not contacting you, or if they're really not yet, if even though if you're in contact, if they're not really ready to open up, just be compassionate to them, because they're needing this time off, and they're taking a break emotionally, going within, and especially for Divine Masculines who just got out of karmics relationship, and it could also be problems within work, career, or family. They've encountered, they're healing that pain and hurt, and they're needing to take shelter, because with this cave here, and I feel like there's still this need, they're healing this need, there's still this need of if they're, especially if they're not awakened yet, with there's this need to find someone to save them, because that's what I'm getting, and that's really I feel like a 3D mentality, because like we've been conditioned that someone needs, like we need to meet someone to save us, someone that we can fix other people in within a relationship, and that we need someone to complete us, but it's not really that, especially with this twin flame journey. It's more being complete on your own self first, and then working together in partnership with your twin flame. Even though you're you twins and you're like two halves, you still like need to heal yourself and save yourself, complete yourself on your own, and then be together in union with your Divine Masculine. You're two whole halves, if that makes sense. Yeah, just connected. And also, yeah, they're healing these ego expectations, and their fears to move towards their desires. So how they're be getting affected during this blue moon in Libra? With the high priestess here, this is all about intuition. So I feel like they're by going within, they're developing intuition and they're awakening to this soulmate connection with the 9 plus 2, 11, 11 here. And intuition will make them realize that only them can save themselves. And I feel like they're moving from the darkness to the light. And so this is like illumination, especially in this full moon. It's illumination, literal illumination. And it's almost forcing them, like this being in this facing their shadows and being in this pain and hurt, it has almost forced them to go within, but that's with the purpose of connecting back to the divine. Because I feel like if they've been distracted you've been so distracted in the world, now they've encountered challenges and they've gotten hurt. Now it has forced you to like break away and go within on your own, seek wisdom. So now you're now trying to pray and like connect more with the divine. So that's the purpose. What I feel. And now they're also now learning to, what's the wisdom they gained? I feel like they're learning to trust the unknown. That's what I'm getting. Because like going through this, you don't know what's inside this. That's why you're having fears. But still, sometimes like in life you have to do that, especially with this twin flame journey. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen. You just trust. You just have to build that trust that you will be reunited. You will be in union, which we will be. And yeah, that's what I got from this. Trust. So with the divine feminines, we have here the Temperance card for their emotional state, and combined with the Chariot card. So what I got from this is that the Temperance is also balancing balancing. This is really a major theme for the divine feminines, balancing. So I feel like with the 2 cups here, the divine feminines are emotionally balancing. This 1 cup is for themselves and 1 cup is for divine masculine and other people's as well. So it's like balancing the giving and the receiving, giving to self and also giving to other people, and also receiving as well, making sure that the divine feminines that they're receiving too, and realizing that's important too. So I feel like with the Temperance here, with the two cups, it reminded me of the 2 of cups. So I feel like emotionally there's still decisions for some divine feminines. There's still decisions to be made, however that resonates with you. And with the Temperance here, the divine feminines are gaining control emotionally and gaining spiritual maturity. by keeping like I feel like even though the environment is chaotic, and even though other people are challenging them and challenging their beliefs, there's the divine feminines, they're staying true to their to what they believe, and they're staying true to this journey, and they're keeping their balance amidst the chaos. And yeah, so not to be to not be to be able to not be thrown off course towards going towards the desires, moving this is like moving forward. So what the Libra blue moon, how it will affect the divine feminines, it will give them that push to move forward. Now they are ready to move forward. And because the divine feminines are balancing, or now able to balance the light and the dark. So she's now ready, she's moving forward to with integrity and determination, living her living her living her personal truth, and with confidence. And what I got is they fly as well, and we fly. And using I feel like the divine feminines, they're using the, because she's looking at the two cups, so I feel like that represents the twin flame connection. The divine feminines are looking at the twin flame connection as as their inspiration to move forward, and they're being guided by the divine. So yeah, divine feminines are being guided, as well as the divine masculines here being guided. We're both being guided emotionally. So now spiritually, with the divine masculines, what I got is the hangman in reverse, and the nine of pentacles in reverse. So what I've noticed is with the divine feminines here, they have a 6-6 with here, and the divine masculines, they have 9-9. So I feel like that's significant, because it's the divine masculines are still on the process coming to completion, and going through that endings and beginnings. So just gonna say that. So now reading these cards, with the hangman in reverse, what I got from this intuitively, the divine masculines are getting out of that hangman energy. Because if they're still like in a hangman energy, you're stagnant, although you're gaining wisdom. But I feel like with the hangman in reverse, they're getting out of that energy, and they have gained that wisdom. And also with the card here, mentally, with the what I got is a wise man, so, and more mature. So yeah, they're really getting out of that. They've gained wisdom, getting out of this stagnant. If they haven't got out of that stagnant, they will be. The universe won't let them stay in that. And also, at the same, wisdom is gained. They're letting go. I got from this hangman in reverse, they're letting go of these preconceived ideas and expectations. And
they're deciding whether um those beliefs that they've gained, I feel like these are ingrained in them, like from the childhood, and how they're brought up, and how and their experiences as well. They're deciding whether those beliefs that are coming back, because it's I feel like, yeah, with the hangman here, those beliefs are coming back to them, and they're now deciding whether, now that they've matured and they've grown, that does that still apply in their lives, or they need to change it. And I feel like the divine masculines are letting go of that um, ideas and expectations, that vision that relationship has to be a certain way as dictated by society. Because I feel like most divine masculines are very traditional. They really follow, um, especially like family traditions, I feel, and how it's supposed to be. Even though, we all know that it's not, it shouldn't, but it shouldn't really be that way. I mean, I feel like you know what I mean. And as we grow, beliefs change. It has to change. And it's really, if you're not, if you're growing, but still you're trying, if you won't be able to grow in the first place if you try and stick on the same beliefs that you have since birth. Because I feel like that's, even though with other people, if even though they're not twin flames, that's a common problem with us, with most of us. We have those beliefs, and keeping and staying to that beliefs that we had ever since we were children, ever since we were young, it's not, it's only keeping us stuck, and it's only causing us stress and trouble and conflicts, inner conflicts, because as we experience more, we grow, and it's not, there will come a time that is that needs to change, and our awareness expands, and it's not working anymore for us. And with and I just I remembered the Nautilus, like the wisdom of the Nautilus. And if you're not aware of the Nautilus, I feel guided to share this. And yeah, I'll show you a photo of it from my phone. I hope that it shows up. Yeah, with the Nautilus, if you're not aware, this is the, you can Google it, but this is what the Nautilus looks like. And we can all, I feel like it's really very relevant to this reading, because as with the beliefs changing, like with the Nautilus, they they need to keep moving forward. Like when they started, um as they grow, they move from, they make a new chamber for themselves, and they move on to the next chamber. So this represents on how much the Nautilus grow, and they will stay on the next chamber until they grow again, and they move on to the next. And as they grow, that chamber closes, so they cannot go back to the past. So I feel like with that, it the wisdom that we can get from that is we can only stay in the present,
and we cannot go back to the past as we grow, because if the Nautilus stayed on the same chamber, they will die because they will not be able to fit into that. And I feel like that could represent us as well, especially the divine masculines in this reading. And so we have to grow and move forward onto the next. But we cannot go back to the past. As the Nautilus move on to the next, they're closing the past chamber, and they cannot fit on that anymore. But as you've moved on to your now new chamber, you cannot of course you'll stay on that, but you cannot stay on that same chamber forever. You will be forced to move forward onto the next, because you will grow again and you won't be able to fit. You will die if you stay in the next chamber. And I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I hope you got the idea that I'm trying to say here. And also, so now with the Nine of Pentacles, back to the reading with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse here. This is a single card for me. So what I got is that the divine masculines are realizing spiritually that they are not really alone or single, like that they're connected to their twin spiritually. And this physical separation anyway is just an illusion. We are always connected to our twin, even though we're not physically on their side. We just need to heal and grow to be able to, manifest that in the physical and be in union. And also I feel like the divine masculines are realizing that they don't have to go through it alone. And also that love does not complete them, and it's their job to complete themselves, as I have already said. And that's what I got from these cards. So now with the divine feminines, I'm trying to be more comfortable here sitting. So with the divine feminines, I have here spiritual. They're currently where are they currently in spiritually? We have here the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands, if you if you can remember on the traditional tarot, it's where you have those two wands that's like 11-11. So I feel like this is about union and also reconciliations. So that's where the divine feminines are. They're getting ready for that union and reconciliations. And I feel like this is about stability as well, and working towards union and getting into the right path spiritually. With the music here, I feel like, because they're playing flute, I think the divine feminines are harmonizing with the universe. And I also feel like this is like a community as well, of that the divine feminines are getting help from others, from like-minded people, and it could also be guides, spiritual guides. And I feel like even if others don't, with these cards, even if the others don't see
the same thing spiritually, especially the family and close friends, they're not letting it bother them, and they're considering other you they're learning how to still consider other people's input, but it's still their decision whether to make them to make up their right to make up their own mind whether to accept it or not, whether it rings true to their personal truth. So yeah, that's where the divine feminine is at spiritually. So how they'll be affected during their blue moon in Libra. We have here the another four of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. So with the 4 here, I feel 4 to me means angel guidance. So divine feminines are getting angel guidance during this spiritually, during this time. So with the 4 of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords, divine feminines are building their own stable empire. That's what I got. Because I feel like this city behind them like represents the society, and they're building their own outside of that, and outside of the conventions, outside of society's expectations, and going towards they're going towards fast. They've transformed and going fast towards this stable personal truth. And I feel like this is also like with the Knight of Swords here towards the 4 of Pentacles, they're breaking away from this stubbornness, because they could it could also be stubbornness for me, because they're holding tight, they don't want to let go that feeling, and they're breaking away from stubbornness of within spiritual beliefs that the divine feminines have held on tightly. So yeah, this is also about beliefs. It's mirroring with this is also mirroring with the divine masculine's message about beliefs. In a but just in a different way, and I feel like by breaking away from this holding on tightly, divine feminines are now opening up to other people, being connected with other people, especially like-minded people, and helping. And in doing that, they're learning, evolving spiritually, and they're growing, evolving spiritually. At the same time, they're helping other people to grow as well. And I feel like for some divine feminines, this could also represent healing some financial block, because it's Pentacles. That's just what came up to my mind. And so this is also about non-attachment. I feel like, yeah, breaking away from attachments. And with life anyway, what I've realized, what I've learned, and it's about being not being attached
from anyone, even your divine masculines, but being connected to everything. Detached from everything, but connected to everything. And because when you attach yourselves, when you attach to your divine masculines, when you attach to society's expectations, when you've attached yourself to results, especially with this union, that's when you start to be off balance. That's when you start to disconnect spiritually. That's when you became like stagnant and you don't know where you're going in your path. So it's really important to detach, and also like yeah, it's really important to detach to be able to connect spiritually. And you can still help others, you can still be emphatic with other people, but it's not helping. Like, for example, if they're not in a really good place, it will not help if you be affected with them. Like, you can still connect with them and you will be able to more likely help your friend if you still if you stay centered and not attached. You'll be, because if you became affected and like um if you become affected with the drama, you'll not be able to get your friend and yourself out of it, out of the problem. So if you stay detached but still connected, then you'll be able to, that in that way you'll be able to connect, you'll be able to help your friend. And I feel like that's just the message. It's important for me to share that, because that can be a problem for some people, and I know that's a problem for me too, especially um with this what I'm doing, because I feel I feel strongly the emotions of other people, but I still get affected, and when I'm trying to help, and but after that I try to balance myself out and remain centered, and that in that way I'll be able to be more of help. So yeah, that's the message of this non-attachment, but still being connected. So now I pulled out two cards because full moons are all about surrendering as well and letting go. So I pulled out one card for the divine masculine, one card for the divine feminine. For the divine masculine, it's very interesting. We got the surrender unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that toxic that toxic let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. What I'm getting with this now is aside from the obvious message of this card, is that I feel like divine masculines and even divine feminines as well, but just because this card came up for divine masculines, I'm feeling they've divine masculines have had problems with um have had to heal their issues, or healing their issues in regards to being deserving of love. And because that just because of this line here, deserve to be treasured by other people, that's why they're not able to accept their divine feminines, because they don't feel like they're worthy of them, they're worthy of us divine feminines. That's what I got. And also I got from this card is they're surrounding unhealthy relationships. This could very well be about karmic endings, karmic relationships, karmic ending, karmic ties. That's toxic to them. And it could also be about family, toxic people around them, friends, co-workers, anyone however resonates. And so they've had to release them, and they need to release that. If they haven't done so, surrender that unhealthy relationships, unhealthy connections that they have, to be able to not be chaotic in their mind and to be able to focus on their intuition, because they're getting help. This toxic situation almost forced them to go into a hermit mode here emotionally. So to be able to get and listen to the intuition, I feel like it's connected with this card, with the High Priestess there. And yes, to be able to get hear the guidance clearer. And so yeah, also I remember that as within, so without quote. And as within, so without is if you cannot, if like it's either you heal yourself within so you'll not be affected by, so that your environment will transform positively, or you need to get rid of that, really need to get yourself out of that toxic place to be able to heal within, because as within, so without. So yeah, that's for divine masculines. And we have here for divine feminines, what we need to heal is surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. So, divine feminines. It's very interesting how we're mirroring the divine masculine but in a different way. And how? It's because divine feminines, for the most part, for the most of us, we have blocks on receiving love. It's because we've been so used to doing all the giving. And yeah, there's no wrong with giving. It's just that I feel like it's too much giving is blocking. We're still blocking. We have that block. It's blocking the receiving because it's not equal giving and receiving. It has to be balanced. It has to be equal. And with the surrender your fear of intimacy, you the I think what's needs to be highlighted here is that divine feminines, you are ready. We are ready to receive love. And this is also about healing core wounds, especially in that heart chakra area, what I feel, in the emotions, in the relationship. And yeah, it's heart chakra clearing. So what I'm being guided to do is that share this affirmation to you divine feminines, to be able to help you clear those, help you receive love and surrender this fear of intimacy. So I have this in my book. So yeah, you can do it now. Actually, if you repeat after me, the affirmation is, I am open to accepting love from others, and I am worthy of this love. My choices come from love. Peace fills my heart. I love easily and freely with others and myself. I love. I am loved. I am love. So that's that. That's this. That affirmation. So yeah, it's from this Chakra Insight Oracle Guidebook, from the chakra cards that I have. So yeah, that's the end of the reading, and I hope you got something helpful from this. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Love and light. All my details are down below for personal readings. Also, I almost forgot. Thank you so much for the support that the support that you're giving me, and um to the people who reach out to me and also donated to my channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.